Hello students, welcome back. In our previous session, we have discussed about what is economic growth, what is economic development, and difference between economic growth and economic development. Today, I am going to discuss another a very important topic, that is Human Development Index or Human Development, which is popularly known as HDI in short. United National Development Programme, in short UNDP, first conducted Human Development Index in 1990, and first HDI report was published in that year, and it is an annual publication of UNDP. Now we have to discuss what is actually Human Development Index. The Human Development Index is a statistical tool used to measure a country's overall achievement in its social and economic dimensions. In other words, we can say that Human Development Index is a summary measure of average achievement in key dimensions of human development. Now again, what is social and economic dimensions? Social and economic dimensions of a country are based on health of people, their level of education attainment, and their level of living standard or standard of living. Now, if we want to know the Human Development Index of a nation, then we have to know about their indicators of human development. There are three indicators of Human Development Index. First one is life expectancy, and next one is literacy rate, and last one is standard of living. Now, what is life expectancy? Life expectancy refers to the number of years a newly born baby is expected to live at the time of birth. Means the number of years a child is expected to survive at the time of birth. Now, it is said that in developed countries, life expectancy is higher than underdeveloped or developing nations. Because in underdeveloped and developing nations, public health facilities is not better. People are illiterate. They don't know about different health policies, different health issues, and different medical facilities, and they don't know about how to take care of a newly born baby, and they don't know about different nutritious food, the health issues, etc. But in developed countries, life expectancy is higher because people of developed countries are literate and they know how to take care of a newborn baby, and then they have better knowledge about proper health issues, proper health policies, and in developed countries public health services also much better than developing or underdeveloped countries. Now come to the another point, that is literacy rate, which is also known as educational attainment. It means education attained by the people of the country on an average basis. It includes two components. One is adult literacy rate and another is gross enrollment ratio. Now again, what is adult literacy rate? The adult literacy rate is the percentage of people ages 15 and above who can both read and write with understanding a short simple statement about their everyday life. On the other hand, gross enrollment ratio, which is known as GER, is a statistical measure which is used to determine the number of students enrolled in school at several different grade levels, like suppose primary level, high school level, etc. Another important indicator of Human Development Index is standard of living or real per capita income. There is no more further discussion about standard of living on your book. So, in short, standard of living is measured by real per capita income of a country. People with higher real per capita income can maintain a higher standard of living, and those who have less real per capita income, they can't able to maintain a higher standard of living. So, these are the three indicators of Human Development Index. These three indicators are used to make rank between different countries' AGI. A country score a higher AGI when they have a higher literacy rate, higher standard of living, and higher life expectancy. Here, I want to tell you one more thing, that AGI value is lies between 0 and 1. In the next paragraph, you get another difference between economic growth and economic development. Here, it is highlighted that human development means expansion of collective choice of people. Collective choice means multidimensional choice or different choice. It covers economic, social, and cultural and political choice of the people. On the other hand, concept of economic growth represent only one choice, that is a level of income. In 2010, Human Development Report has introduced three new concepts of human development. This Gender Inequality Index, Multidimensional Poverty Index, and Inequality Assessment Human Development Index. As mentioned in the book, Inequality Assessment Human Development Index determine how human development influence different sections of the people in the society. It combines a country's average achievements in health, education, and income with how those achievements are distributed among country's population. Means it expresses or it shows human development become beneficial only for richer section of society or it's an average section of society. Next, come to the another concept, that is gender inequality index. This concept is about the inequalities between male and female. According to UNDP, that is United National Development Programme, this index is a composite evaluation which captures the loss of accomplishment within a nation due to gender inequality. In other words, we can say that gender inequality index reflects an inequality in achievement between male and female in three dimensions, that is health, education, and standard of living. Next concept is multidimensional poverty index, which highlight the different forms of poverty. As you know that there are two types of poverty. One is absolute poverty and another is relative poverty. So multidimensional poverty index used as an indicator to calculate summary poverty figure for a given population, in which larger figure indicates a higher level of poverty and lower figure indicates a lower level of poverty. So these are the three new concepts which added by AGI in 2010. Now come to the next paragraph or next concept, that is economic planning. As you know that each and every economy is formulated planning for given period of time. Now we have to know that what is economic planning and how economic planning is formulated in India. Okay, so what is economic planning? Economic planning is a process by which key economic decisions are made or influenced by central government. Planning are used as an instrument to attain a set of well-defined aims or objectives. Every planning has definite time period. In India, plan is formulated for a period of 5 years and therefore it is known as long-term planning. As mentioned in your book, there have several main objectives of Indian planning. So let us discuss about different objectives of Indian planning in short. To rise the rate of growth of the economy, a major objectives of Indian planning. Rise the rate of growth means increase in per capita income and national income. Next objectives is to remove socio-economic inequalities. Now you have to know that what is social and economic inequalities. Economic inequality indicates difference between rich and poor, or difference between different level of income earning people. And social inequality refers inequalities in social status, social class, social opportunities, etc. So to remove these social and economic inequalities, a major objectives of Indian planning. Next one is to remove poverty. As you know that there are two types of poverty. One is absolute poverty and another is a relative poverty. So to remove this absolute and relative poverty is another main objectives of Indian planning. To expand employment opportunities means to increase job opportunities or in the number of paid workers, means increase workforce or labor force. Next one is to remove regional inequalities. So as you know that there are several states in India which are poorer than other states like Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Bihar, etc., and some other region which are more richer than this state like Chennai, Bombay, Delhi, etc. To remove these regional inequalities is another main objectives of Indian planning. And the last one is to ensure sustainable development, means to ensure economic development without causing damage to the environment and so on. So these are the main objectives of Indian planning. And the Planning Commission of India formulated these objectives. They also prepared the strategy of investment, means where to invest and how much money has to invest in which sectors. They explore the ways of mobilization of resources. Mobilization of resources means proper utilization or proper uses of resources, and they evaluate and monitor the process of various schemes and the programs covered by the plan. Okay, now we have to discuss another important topic, that is Niti Aayog. Okay, NITI, Niti Aayog. So Niti Aayog has replaced the Planning Commission of India, and NITI stands for National Institutions for Transforming India. It is a policy made by research policy maker of the government. It established with the aim to achieve sustainable development goals. As mentioned in your book, Niti Aayog has come to the operation from 1st January 2015, and the first meet of Niti Aayog was held on 8 February 2015 in Delhi. The chairperson of Niti Aayog is PM of India, that is Narendra Modi. The others member of Niti Aayog are the Vice Chairman of Vice Chairman, Chief Minister of different states, Lieutenant Governor of Union Territories, 4 Central Ministers, Chief Executive Ministers, and some experts from different fields. Please note down one thing. Now, Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog is Rajiv Kumar. Now, let's move to the another topic, that is democratic planning. In economics, democratic planning aims at the removal of inequalities of income and wealth. But overall, Democratic planning refers such type of planning where each and every section of people can participate in the different stages of plan making. All decisions regarding social, economic and political issues are not imposed from the top. Decisions are made in each and every layer of administration. Democratic planning ensures decentralization of power. Now, you have to know that what is decentralization or what is decentralization of power. Decentralization is a process by which the activities of the government, particularly regarding planning and decision making, are distributed among the three layers of the administration. As you know that there are three layers of administration. These are central government, state government and local bodies. Local bodies refer to panchayat, municipalities, etc. At each level, the plan schemes are discussed by the representative of people. As the representative of people formulate and discuss schemes at the lowest level of administration or local bodies, it is known as grassroots planning. Okay. Again, I repeat, what is grassroots planning? Grassroots planning refers to such type of planning where decisions are made from the bottom. Representative of people formulated and discuss schemes at the lowest level of administration in such planning. That is, lowest level of administration means in suppose panchayat, municipalities, etc. Now, please write down some important questions. First question is, what is Human Development Index? What is Human Development Index and what are the indicators of Human Development Index? Next question, what do you mean by adult literacy rate and gross enrollment ratio? Next, what is life expectancy? Next question is, what do you mean by gender inequality index? Next question, what do you mean by inequality adjustment human development index? Next, what is multidimensional poverty index? Next, what is economic planning and what are the basic objectives of Indian planning? Next, what do you mean by Niti Aayog and who is the Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog? Next question, what do you mean by democratic planning? Is Indian planning is a democratic planning? Next question, what are the three layers of administration in India? And the last question is, what do you mean by grassroots planning? So that's all for today. Thank you.